Will LeBron James get out of the East?
Nope. No, he's not going to get out of the East. By the way, there was an article on ESPN.com. Ben Alamar, you had a lot of fun when I brought him up, our head of our analytics department.
I didn't. I had a lot of fun with you. I have no problem with Ben Alamar.
Well, Second Spectrum.
Or Second Spectrum.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Our friends at
38.
Spectrum.
I had
There you
no
go.
problem. I had a problem with you.
Oh, you have a problem
I didn't
with me.
have them.
I see.
You know
I shouldn't use the tools available to us.
Do I have a problem with Coach Mackey? Yes. And we know I don't have a problem with Coach Mackey. It's just how much you mentioned him.
Are you showing up to Steady Buckets event?
I am.
Yes, you are. I'm bringing you. I'm lassoing you.
Listen, as much as you mentioned Coach Mackey, we got to go.
That's right.
We got to go.
Exactly. Stephen A. shows up. All right, look. There was an article about how playoff LeBron is real. And it's because of the defense. And I've been saying that all year. He saves himself defensively for the playoffs. So he doesn't play defense in the regular season. And I brought up the fact that the problem with that Cavs group they had before they made all the trades was these guys weren't internally so self-motivated enough. You know, that's why when LeBron didn't play defense, no one played defense because they looked to the leader. Well, they have to understand LeBron's a million years old, has a billion miles on his legs, has to take it easy. But he does flip the switch in the playoffs, so they will get better in the playoffs. But better enough to beat the Pacers in the first round, which is going to be a tough series. Those guys have surprised a lot of people, Stephen A. As you know, in fact, they won the Paul George trade pretty clearly at this point, I think. Something we should have been debating because I don't know, about a month ago, I'm like, these guys won the Paul George trade.
We did debate it, and you feel the way that you
That's
feel.
right.
And my response was, can we wait for the playoffs?
Then,
right.
That's right, you did. Then, the Toronto Raptors, the top 5 offense and defense. You are planning on, listen, you know why the Cavs have beaten the Raptors when they've beaten them? Well, in fact, I've asked my friend Ben Alamar and our friends at Second Spectrum, Stephen A. It turns out they hit an unsustainably high percentage of their shots, meaning they're taking low percentage shots or shots they hit a certain clip usually, and they're getting lucky. They're shooting extremely well, but unsustainably well. They're not going to do that 4 out of 7 games in a series, or at least it's unlikely. So then they have to rely on LeBron flipping that defensive switch to the next level and everyone following him and playing for the first time all season defense. You're going to do that just when the playoffs show up against a top 5 offense and defense? This is the year they simply don't have enough. There's not enough talent on the roster, even for the great LeBron James. They fall in the second round to the Raptors.
First of all, I just want to let the world know that Max Kellerman, I appreciate his humility because what he's basically revealed to the public is, I'm no match for Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get Ben Alamar, and I got to get Second Spectrum, and I got to get 538. I got to pick up the phone in the morning and call these people directly. So in other words, no.
You ever see him not on the phone?
Listen, what I'm trying.
You ever see him not on the phone?
I call BS. You're calling people all the time.
Whatever. The point is,
he got a family plan just for him.
Actually, they call me. That's right. It's true. It's true. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's absolutely true. But I'm just saying, I should be debating all 4 of them. It doesn't matter. Here's the reality of the situation. Max Kellerman, here's what I think you're not paying attention to.
Okay.
You know enough about basketball. You've been taught enough about basketball over the last 2 years. You're learning as we go along, incrementally, but you're getting there, okay? Here's the reality of the situation.
Did he tell you he's wearing a great outfit today? Because he is.
It is smooth.
It's
Damn,
great.
I do look smooth. The point that I'm trying to make is this. Max Kellerman, there comes a moment in time where the greatness of a particular player in a sport like basketball has a detrimental effect on you when you're on the offensive side of the ball because it makes you tight. That's what I mean when I say not the Cavs, but LeBron. See, when I look at the Toronto Raptors, let me tell you what has worked against the Toronto Raptors this season almost as much as the greatness of LeBron. The fact that they've had such success and they're the #1 seed. And everyone is looking at them and saying, no excuses this year. Cleveland's not what they used to be. LeBron doesn't have Kyrie. Too much change, too much dysfunctionality has raked through this franchise. And even though they've gotten it together for the most part, they've been on a roller coaster ride throughout this year. So as a result, we look at them. And then Kyrie goes down, okay? Philly's too young. Miami's questionable. Washington, don't get me started with the Wizards. Milwaukee may not be ready yet, a player short or whatever the case may be, even though the addition of Jabari Parker coming back off of injury has helped them tremendously. But the bottom line is this. Toronto's under immense pressure. So when you combine that pressure with LeBron James' greatness, particularly against their number one player. That is why I don't believe. I am in no way saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are a better team than the Toronto Raptors. I am in no way saying that Toronto doesn't have the talent, the skill necessary to beat Cleveland. We obviously have to rely on DeRozan and Kyle Lowry to a lesser degree to show up in the postseason and be effective when you're planning for him in a 7-game series. I get all of that. But in the end, if Toronto's number one player was its center, or its number one player was its point guard, okay, then that would be different. But your number one player is in direct opposition to the greatest player in the world who has a field day against them. LeBron's great. He makes them tight. As a result, everybody gets tight.
I am not denying.
And I think that's what's going to bring them down.
I think you are